Well, hello friends, and welcome to What If Wednesday. It's Mindy coming to you live as always at noon on Wednesday Eastern Time from my kitchen. Today. So still got a sink full of dirty dishes and some works in progress. I've been cooking today because I have a new neighbor, and that's what I want to share with you as today's topic for What If Wednesday. We all know the idea, love thy neighbor, but here's the quiz for you. All right. So as you're watching this, I'm going to challenge you to write in the comments and see how you do on this little quiz. So think about the neighbors that live to the left of you. So if you're in an apartment complex, the room to the left, or if you're in a neighborhood, the house to the left, what is the first names of the people who live to the left of you? Do you know your neighbors? And then you're going to guess where I'm going next. What are the names of the people that live to the right to you? Do you know those neighbors? What about the people that live across the street or across the hallway from you? What are their names? Is there anyone that lives behind you? What are their names? I know we've been living here this is going on our third year. And there's been a lot of turnover in our neighborhood. So when we first got here, we sort of did the rounds, knocking on doors and delivering cookies and saying, hey, we're your new neighbors. Would love to contact you. Would love to say hi. We're here if you need us. And a couple people reached out, like one or two. But most didn't. Now, some people aren't here fully, all year long. So, who knows if they were even here or not. But the point is, do you know your neighbors? And do you love your neighbors? And do you have opportunities to get together and to build that relationship? So what if we take on this challenge this week to know our neighbors a little better and to express a little bit of love? So like I said, we've been here about 2.5 years. And in that time, we have new neighbors to our left. We have new neighbors across the street. And as of the first of this month, we have new neighbors next door. So today, I have evening plans. I was making some dinner for later on, and I thought I'm just going to double up that recipe and take it over next door because I know that he's unpacking. And isn't it great when you're new to have like a little casserole? My casserole is halfway done. It's not done yet. But that's the idea. Is I'm just making food for my neighbor as he's unpacking, so he can freeze it or have an easy meal. So that's what's on my agenda for today. So that's the question: who are your neighbors, and how often do you have a chance to connect with them, to do something kind for them, to let them know that you love them, you appreciate them, and that you're happy to be a neighbor? It sounds like such a simple thing, but in today's world, it's not something to take for granted. I know I've lived in places for a long time where I never had much interaction with the people that lived just right next door. So what if that changes today? What if we set this up as a challenge, as an opportunity to, if you don't know your neighbors, if you don't know them by their first name, if you have to go to your phone to figure out like, what was their name? I can't remember. Then challenge for the week is to reach out and just say hello and check in. And if you want to bring a casserole or a plate of cookies, that's kind of fun. But you don't even have to do that. What if it's just a matter of saying hello and checking in and reaching out and letting them know that you'd like to get together. You'd like to know them better. Talking over the back fence, whatever that might be. What ideas do you have? Imagine a world where communities were connected, where neighbors knew each other, where everyone was looking out for everybody else, and you knew what was going on in people's lives, the people that live closest to you. What if we could create a little more of that through our What If Up community? What ideas do you have? What possibilities do you have for building stronger relationships in your local, like micro local community? Do you know the people on your street? I was thinking that, like, I know the people to my left, to my right, but I don't know how far down the street I could go. I don't know many people beyond that. So that might be a challenge I could take on. Raina Shea is watching. Hi, Raina Shea. It's really, really good to see you. Thanks for joining us for What If Wednesday. So we're talking about neighbors, loving your neighbors, knowing your neighbors, and looking for ways to express a bit of kindness, a bit of appreciation for the people that live right next door. Who's your next door neighbor? What are some possibilities for what could happen for you this week as you reach out to say hello. Maybe that's just knocking on the apartment door next to you, or maybe it's maybe your neighbors are far apart and it means you have to actually take a walk. I love to hear your stories. So that's the challenge for the week, is to interact with your neighbors. Neighbors are just on my mind. We had a neighborhood community gathering, like a neighborhood association that I didn't even know existed. And we've lived here 2.5 years. Did not know we had a neighborhood association. And I went on Saturday, and it was at a little church, and the church was packed, and I had no idea that there was so much going on in my neighborhood. Like, what if this week is about reaching out to your neighbors and getting plugged in? And if there's nothing going on, if there's no association or there's no gatherings, what if that's something that you could bring to people? And what if you invite some people over for a pancake breakfast or a dinner party or a happy hour? And what if you just hang out together? What if you tell them that you're doing a what if challenge and see if they want to be part of it with you? What if you what if up with them? So that's the idea. I'm glad you like it. I can't wait to see what you do with this. And I hope you have some amazing experiences. Take some pictures if you have a chance, and share them in our community. Wouldn't that be fun? What if we could really celebrate us extending our hearts and our network, just, one door down the road, a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. And what if we look for ways to truly express kindness, express gratitude, and express love for our neighbors? All right, that's the challenge. Take it on if you choose to, and we'll celebrate whatever happens for you. Looking forward to hearing your wins and playing along with you. So, all right, I got to get back to cooking. I've got my little casseroles here. There's going to be spinach on top, a little bit of cheese going in the oven. Going to brown it. It's going to be delicious. I hope. This is actually sidebar. So I was looking for what do I make for a neighbor? Because I don't do this very often. It's great to have new neighbors. And I'm like, okay, casserole. So I Googled best casserole recipe for new neighbors. And this is what came up. So there you go. First time to make it. I actually doubled the recipe so I could test it out first. So I cook for us. And how easy is that? What if whatever you're making for dinner tonight, you double it and you take it over to your neighbor and you say, hey, I made you something special. So anyway, have fun with it. Let me know what you do. And I'm just feeling the ripples and ripples of love that we can put out into the world together through this simple idea, this simple possibility. And that's what it's all about. So thanks for joining. It's great to see you. Have a fantastic week. See you soon. Bye-bye.